Hello my crafty friends, welcome back to my channel. For today's video we are playing with the Cocoa Daisy Serenity kit. On my channel so far should be already the unboxing video with my first project, which was in the TN, which was this lovely layout. So that one should be on my channel. We're going to do another TN spread. I believe using this one is what I've kind of narrowed it down to. And then we're going to do a pocket page layout using these two cards because I love them so much together that I had to make this work for some sort of layout with probably this photo. So we have that going on too. So we're just going to do a TN spread. I have these because these are the matching ones. And so what I want to do is almost do like these layered hearts so that we can kind of see the red, pink, red going on. But I also like some of these cards, and I printed out my photo that I kind of want to use as well, kind of like a title. And then here's my little black and white photo because once again, the colors were too contrasting with the pink and red I was going with. So we print the photo black and white to make it work. So let's get started. Okay, so I have paper punches of hearts in, believe it or not, 3 different shapes. So my thought process is to have these papers be layered into like a red, pink, layered heart that I can maybe bend up the edges. Of course, I always think about bending up the edges, and probably in the photo it does look kind of textured and bent up, but in the end, you know, when we're using our TNs, it does kind of flatten out over time, which is fine. So you did see me try to audition out if I could use the heart punch and use one of those sentiment cards, because I would have left that as the title of one of them, but it was going to cut off too much. So I decided another idea with the sentiment ones, and you'll just see me fussy cut it out as a sentiment close to the photo on the opposite side. So far this is working out good, and I like the layers, and here I am still trying to see like, well, could I make it a heart? Because I thought it was my thought process. I just never kind of measured it out to see if it was really going to work, and so it doesn't, but I do utilize the element in a moment. So once I have my placement of the photo, which is pretty much in the center, but I think I zhuzh it up just a little bit so that it leaves room for a few more embellishments and journaling along the bottom. So like I said, here I am just kind of fussy cutting it out and doing it close to kind of the outline of the text, along with kind of this watercolor wash of color in the back, which I do love. So the colors on this collection are just, it's been my favorite. Pink and red I will use anytime year round. And so it was just an idea that I had. So what I'm looking at now is trying to use other elements in the kit. You know, whenever I'm doing my design team work, I do like to showcase as much of the product as I can. So I am auditioning out the stamps and some of the rub-ons, and I'm like, what can I add to them to kind of dress them up a little bit more, okay? And in the end, I think I start going into anything that has this like black outline of the florals or the Japanese kind of characters that mean, at least labeled here like harmony, courage, and I think brave. So I just make sure that one of these flowery elements is on each of the flowers, each of the hearts, I apologize, and going through it all because I'm like, what else has this like black outline kind of doodle mark? That way I can have them all be cohesive down the center of this page. And so that's where I kind of leave it at for now, and then I'm just looking at anything else to kind of use the elements. Like I said, I'm just always looking to use as much as I can. So now we're going to start using some of the rub-ons. And the rub-ons are always a great quality, at least in my opinion, because I've done rub-ons in the past, and if they dry out or you haven't used them in too long, they don't work as good. But whatever company or manufacturer that Cocoa Daisy is using for their rub-ons, it's amazing. Like, I have been on the design team for a year, and even when I go back to use some of the collections from before, like in my daily journal, they still work. They still work, and they're just like sticker, like clear, transparent, stickers, and I just find it great because they're easy and thin to travel with, and you can put them in like a pencil case, and they don't have so much bulk like taking a whole sticker book. So yeah, if you're subscribed to Cocoa Daisy, the rub-ons are just amazing. So here I was just trying to add a few more of these like black branchy elements. I was definitely trying to have that high contrast and not using anything that was like pink or red because it probably wouldn't show up, but anything that had the black text coloring was definitely on my radar as I thumbed through all the elements in the kit. So like I said, I did print my photo in black and white, and so then to use some of the stamps, I am doing the little Chinese character
on the stamp set, the 3x4 that's in the scrapbooking kit. And I'm just doing it in gray. I think this one's called Hickory Smoke from Distress. And I'm just repeat stamping just as a background element. I probably could have done the whole page, but I just thought a little randomness here on the side of my photo was just fine. And I got to use the stamp. Like I said, I'm always trying to use a little bit of everything in my layouts. It definitely helps to show you how to use the products and gives you ideas. And so when I'm using all of these, I just keep in mind like room for journaling. Do I leave room for another sentiment? And what I wanted to use was one of the washi stickers, like on the clear paper from the journaling kit. It had a definition that I just thought worked really well for just a simple picture of me and my daughter. And actually that photo was from Christmas time, which was another reason I think why I did it in black and white, because the, you know, the trees and the snow in the background were just conflicting with the pink and red that I had going on. So then we move on to my little 6x8 project, and I just loved these two cards together. And so I had to do something with it. And then I was auditioning out more pocket cards for the opposite side, and nothing, in at least in my opinion, on how I kind of select cards was going really well with this thick, bold text of positive, think positive. So then I just kind of had an idea just to print my photo the size of like a traveler's notebook and have like that odd page in my notebook or album, which I'm okay with. So since I had all these elements out and I just worked on that previous project, I decided to do another layered heart as the embellishment cluster for the photo. And I think it was a great compliment because once again, we're working with black and white and then this pop of red and or pink, and it just complemented it perfectly to have both of these kind of sides of the layout, you know, talk to each other, which I am always a fan of. If you've been on my channel a lot, you know that I definitely lean towards doing double page layouts in my 6x8 album. For me, I just always like them to, you know, how do I say, like be cohesive with each other. It's just like how I do it. So this was me trying to tie in the look and feel of, you know, the left and the right side together. So I added one of the rub-ons of the bird, or it was a crane. No, I think it was just a bird, kind of close to my hat as if it was flying around in the sky. And then my little heart cluster will be on the bottom. And for that one, I take one of the rub-ons that has the Chinese character. You see it right there. And I'm rubbing it along all the layers of the heart, and that worked out really good because it was also textured, and so it didn't do perfectly, but I liked how it transferred anyway. And then on the opposite side for the positive, think positive card, I do add a few of the puffy lotus flower or like cherry blossom things. And then on the journaling card, I do my journaling on clear sticker paper, which you'll see in a minute. And then I just add a few of the elements of chipboard just to add a little pop of red to the bottom card as well. And then these two will definitely work together. And so that will wrap up my two projects using the Cocoa Daisy Serenity kit. I will leave it linked down below for you. And these are most likely featured on the blog as well for Cocoa Daisy. I will find those blog posts if you want more of the details in text. Thank you so much for joining me as always. Please give this video a thumbs up. And until next time, everyone, bye.